Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Connections. This is your girl, Aly. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. You saw the flyers that were going around. It's a bunch of stuff happening in the communities. We know kids are gearing up to go back to school, so people are starting back to school events. We always want to remind you about the brunch at Sound Check Hookah and Daiquiri Bar in Charlotte. The doors open at 12 and the brunch usually starts at 1. That's 2600 Clemson Avenue. And Mr. Excitement, DJ Blessed are usually in the building hosting the event. And so there's a couple of things going on, and we'll get into some of that later on. But I wanted to greet our guest today, Christopher, Chriso Blackman. What's up?
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing today?
I'm doing fantastically well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, doing well. So this is your first time on the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes.
And I wanted to give you opportunity before we jump into all the adventures you have going on. I wanted to give you opportunity to greet the family and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, where can I start? Well, hey family, how y'all doing? My name is Christopher Chriso Blackman. I am a spoken word artist, actor, singer, rapper, just an all-around Renaissance man. I come from the great sensational land of Lancaster, South Carolina. Born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. And what else? What else? I'm just an artist at heart. I'm an artist. I love to perform. I love to give back to people. I love to stay in connections because we've been connecting a lot behind the scenes, you and I. So,
Right, right.
so finally, we are here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so I've seen Chriso in Charlotte. I've seen him in Rock Hill. So yeah, so we've been connected. We just was trying to get it our perfect timing to get on the show. But we were waiting because Christopher has written a book and it's called Trial and Error. There it is, y'all. An autobiography of a trying poet. So that's what we really want to talk about today. So, Christopher, what made you want to write your autobiography? Like, what was it?
Well, how can I? Well, it started out with just one poem called Pretty Picture. And then I would just like leave. I just threw it on the back burner. Like, nah, I said nobody's not gonna do this. But when I didn't really get started into poetry until my mother really told me to write a poem for the MLK back in 2013 for the MLK ceremony.
Okay.
And she's like, Chris, I want you to make it powerful. I'm like, Mama, okay, all right, all right. This is not my thing, but okay, we'll see what happens. So I wrote the poem and then I was able to perform it live. And the rest was history. It was like, this is amazing. I got a standing ovation. But then after I made that poem, it was like I started writing some more poetry, and then basically the poems I'll be writing, and they're basically like memoirs or memos or inspirational quotes to myself to tell myself to keep going, keep pushing, keep moving, keep going, keep pushing, keep moving, just inspiring myself. So eventually, I was having a hard time with the title, and I was trying to think of something universal yet relatable.
Right.
So I chose what do people do on a day-to-day basis, and trial and error, the autobiography of the trying poet, because everybody, wherever they doing in their lifetime, they all had to try it something.
Right.
So
And you're right. I think that title is appropriate because trial and error, because that will intrigue everybody because they're like, oh yeah, I know about trial and error. I've been through that myself. And then it starts making you think, what have I been through? What did I overcome? You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it kind of sends you on a thought pattern, and then you're like, let me see what this book is about. And so, like, I always wonder, because I am not really a writer, how do people how do people put poems together? Like, do you just write and then you go back and organize it, or you just whatever flows is whatever flows?
I'm kind of different. I do this thing, and I tell anybody who comes that is close to me, I do this thing called jigsaws. So I may put like a stanza might just flow into my head. By the grace of God, a stanza might flow into my head of something inspirational or powerful, or now like the kids say, a good bar or two
Hmm.
will flow into my head, and I just leave it in a box, and I literally draw a box around it, and I just leave it right there. And then another one may float to my head, and depending on the topic that I'm talking about, I usually save the title until the end, but I know exactly the topic that I'm talking about. So eventually, after I have like, I want to say 8 bars or 8 stanzas, I start connecting, building blocks with it, and then after I connect it, I start to memorize it. With a lot of people on my end, they say, "Chris, you are an amazing poet, but how do you memorize all of this stuff?" By saying it 1,000 times to myself secretly, whispering it to myself.
There you go.
Then after I do that, then I just put my stank on it. I put my little isms, my little my little acting chops on it because I went to school for acting, communication in USC Upstate, class of 2015. So
All
yeah.
right.
So I put my little acting chops on it, and I make the poem broader than just words on a page. I make it come alive.
Hmm.
And then after those ingredients, after I write it, memorize it, make it come alive, boom, successful poem.
Yeah. And you're right. Like I said, I've seen you, perform. And I think it is, it's like you're in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like your 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 motions, your expressions. It's like you just have to listen because you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly,
So I think
exactly.
that's cool. Because
I think it's
I, everybody has their own style, right? And different styles work, but I do like the fact that you just feel like you're just there as you're telling the story. If you're talking about the sky, you're like you make me feel like I can go to the sky. You know what I'm saying? It's just for you.
exactly.
So that's
The
cool.
beautiful part about it is it's trying to find a way to how, and this is what I do with all of my poems, is trying to find how can I magnify an object, place, or thing or situation. How can I magnify that times 10
Hmm.
and make it much more broader than what it is? Like
Hmm.
anybody can say that the sky is blue. But it's another thing to say the sky is a great hue of a color. Something of that. So,
Right.
be outlandish with it and make it broader than what it is. But overall, I just love it. I love what I do, and I love the feeling of making people feel good after they hear my words, because it's just like a quote that what's my one of my favorite actors' name, Black mother of Hollywood, Jennifer Lewis.
Hmm.
She said when she was 5 years old, she sung a song in church, and she felt the audience she got a standing ovation. And then when she got that standing ovation, she said to herself, "This is life." And that's what I feel when I'm inspiring people. I love to inspire people, but I also, when I inspire people, it inspires me too to keep moving forward too as well. So
Right, right. So how do you prepare? Because we was talking about even before the show, like how I still get nervous before I come on and stuff like that. So how do you prepare when you go live? I mean, do you have any fears or things that you do to get you in that vibe?
I'm absolutely fearful right now. Yes, I am not okay. I tell it like this, and a lot of people think it's crazy to think this way, but this is just me in general. It's easy to perform in front of thousands of people for me, but I'm nervous when I'm talking to one person.
Really?
Yes. You see, and this is a acting trope that a lot of actors use. And personally, my mother taught me this when I was a kid, because the backstory is there's another backstory. The reason why I know how to memorize a lot of these poems is because of my mother. She used to sit back here and tell me, Chris, you better learn those Easter speeches. So I didn't have no choice but to memorize Easter speeches. So
Right.
mom, she was a thespian too. She was a actress, a performer. She's performing now in a band. So she's taught me all of the skills that I need to like hone my craft and everything of that nature. So I love her for that. But I say it like this. It's really hard for me to like talk to one person, because when I'm talking to a group of people, I pick out 3 points in the center, or the place that I'm performing at.
Mhm.
I picked out one directly in the center, one to my left, one to my right. So the beauty about performing is when I perform in front of thousands of people, it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm really looking past you. So that way, because if I know if I look directly in your eyes, I'm gonna mess up somewhere.
Yeah.
So so I have to do that for my sake. Because it's a whole lot. It's a lot when you have to direct your full power, your full energy to one person. You getting all of them now. You getting the best of them now. But when I'm doing spread it out to a bunch of people, it's easy for me.
I have to keep that in mind next time I have to get on the stage.
It's really easy. I remember the last thing that we did. I seen you at was at it was
The
the
MLK
MLK
one.
breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I I had, me, of course, I had to fill out the room, and I picked those 3 spots. But then when you got to make the stage yours. You got
Mhm.
to own it. So whenever you own it, you make it yours. So that's how, when I own it, when I got my places where I know what I want to see, what I know, how I want to do it, how I want to say it, and all of this ties into the writing concept too. How I want to wrapped inside of a beautiful, blessed performance burrito. um, you got to own the stage. You got to make sure that even though you're delivering this great speech or great poem or whatever, you got to make sure that people understand you, and you also got to navigate each part of the room so people can feel you too. They got to feel your energy in this part. So whenever I perform, especially when people are behind me or in front of me, I always try to navigate
Mm,
around
yeah.
so people can feel the energy that I'm bringing.
Awesome. JT is on. He said Chriso in the building.
Yes, yes. JT the poet. Now talk about somebody inspirational. That
Right.
guy.
Right.
It hasn't been nothing but love from him ever since we first met. Big Woo Radio. Shout out to Corey. Um, in Charlotte. I forgot the name of the joint. It was the coffee
Waterbean.
shop. It
Waterbean
was the
coffee shop or something like that.
Yeah, I believe it was Water Bean Coffee Shop. That's when we first met, and we've been kicking it ever since. We invited me out to the Juneteenth fest. Actually, two of them, Chester and Rock. Yeah, Chester and York actually. So we've
Mm,
just been rocking it ever since, and he's a great, great, great motivational force. He
truly.
is a great motivational force, and I thank him for that. I thank him once, I thank him twice. Hey, and I see we got Karen Proctor, aka my mother's in the building too. Hi, mom.
All right. Oh, welcome, Miss Proctor. I know you were talking about her at the MLK event, talking about her being in a band and her traveling
Yes.
around and doing things.
Oh yeah, she's a force of nature. I always tell everybody, Mama is Mother Nature, and she made the force of nature.
All right, I like that. And I like, I like the support that you have. Like with JT and these guys that I see around you, um, Minister T Breeze, and then your mom. What is it like to have that support, to be able to look out in the audience though sometimes and see those faces that love you unconditionally?
It's unexplainable. It's it's unexplainable, but because a lot of people don't have that foundation.
Hmm.
And if you don't have that foundation, I encourage you and I implore you to go get that foundation, because all that we did was make connections, just like you and I made connections. We've been hitting each other for up how long, and we be like back and forth, back and forth. You be busy doing something, I'll be busy doing something. But now that we finally got this connection, it's there, and I don't think it's not gonna go anywhere neither.
No.
So it's all about making connections with people and also supporting people too. If they support you, they give it back, and you support each other basically.
Right.
So it's an amazing feeling. And then just with the family that's been growing, like Jonathan, for instance, he's amazing at what he does, all of the endeavors that he do. So it's
Yeah.
just we just got some great talented people around me, and as long it's just like keeping that circle tight, your communication circle tight with full of talented people that have resources that can probably take your career or goals to the next level. So
Yeah. And I think that's important. I think people get frustrated a lot of times because they feel like they're on their own. They feel like they're not being supported. But, I'm with you. You just have to keep going because eventually, you'll never be recognized. You'll never be able to share your value if you don't share your value. So, I always tell people keep going. It doesn't matter if you got five people that follow you, or five people that really applaud you. Keep going because those five are important. They're your base, your foundation. But still, your gift, your talent is for a multitude of people. And so,
exactly,
you just got to keep being who you are and being authentic about who you are.
exactly. I like. Here's the thing: when you're making connections with people, this is just me personally. This is just a little a golden nugget for everybody. I like to take breaks in between connecting with people, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Hmm.
I have to sometimes self-reflect.
Hmm.
I also have to sometimes, in self-reflecting, I'm also creating too. So, and this is for everybody that comes in contact with me. Don't take it as a way of, oh, he hasn't kicked it with us in a while. Maybe he's gone off the deep end. No, that's not the case. The
Right.
case is I'm just over here. I have to get my mind straight, and physically, spiritually, and career wise, I have to get my art straight because I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about myself. And when I got to give time for me to create. So, but when I create and then when I really come out there, just know I'm connecting. Boom, 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 boom. And if I can't speak to you in person like this, if you got something going on, I love to share. A lot of people know I love to share. It's always a great thing to share because I made a post some time ago. Share and support. That's all
Hmm.
you need to do. Share and support. If somebody has something going on, if you cannot genuinely physically make it, share it. That's your way of supporting it.
Right.
And consistency is key. I was looking at a post from Master P. He talked about this guy was telling about what do McDonald's sell? He said Big Macs. He said no, they don't sell just Big Macs. What they sell is consistency. So
Mm.
that is key. Consistent, consistent, consistent. Stay consistent in what you're doing and how you're doing.
Yeah. Now that is important because I find when you kind of break it up and you're not consistent, then you kind of lose your focus. You lose even your purpose. Sometimes you're like, well, I don't feel like doing this today, or I don't know if this is valuable. I don't know if I should be doing this. It brings a lot of questions when you're not consistent. At least pursuing your passion, even if you're not even sure about what that is, keep trying different things. What interests you? What makes you perk up inside when you're doing it? Just like you were saying when you got the standing ovation and you felt like people really recognized you and they could see who you were through your poetry. You got to find that place. And sometimes it takes a little while. That's why we're talking about trial and error, right?
Exactly. That part.
So, why the subtitle, The Trying Poet? I love it when he laughs.
A trying poet. Uh, you just don't know. um, well, all that you can do is try. I'm just a poet trying to make it. Or I'm just a poet trying to live life. Or
Right.
I'm just a, how about this, make it even more relatable. I'm just a person trying to live life.
Right.
And the reason why I call it a trying poet because it's some of the poems in here, they are relatable. They're based on my life and what happened in my life. Also, the poems that are in here, they're universal too. So that's why I didn't want to say Island Era, the autobiography of Christopher Blackman. Nah, that's a
Mhm.
cliche. I wanted to say the trying poet so it can relate to any and everybody who needs some inspiration in their life or who just want to listen to a great story. Because there's a lot of them in there. There's a lot of them in there. Um, all of them, like from Limitless, talking about not just seeing the sky as the limit. It's like the sky is not the limit. You can go further than the sky.
Right.
Um, what else? You have other poems like Pretty Picture, even though you come from a place that you deem as horrible and lifeless with no goals, it ain't where you from, it's where you're going.
Right.
Um, what else? I have things that people go through on the day-to-day basis, like assessment tests. Like when you go apply for a job, sometimes they may ask you to do a assessment test. Yeah, I have those in there too. So it's a lot of poems in this book alone that people can relate to, and there's a lot of poems in this book also too that just tells a story.
Awesome. Listen, so I want to know, do you want to, which video do you want to go to first? Do you want to do the trailer or do you want to do the one where you're speaking live? Which one do you want to go to first?
Oh goodness. Let's do the trailer first.
Okay. So, listen, y'all, we've been talking to Christopher Crisso Blackman. He has just released his book. It's out. It's on Amazon. It's called Trial and Error: The Triumph Poet. And we're going to see the trailer and we're going to be right back to talk more about it.
Once upon a time, there was. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let's do this for real this time.
All right. Listen, that's Christo out doing his thing, and
Yeah,
he really is out in the community. He loves to support, again, to share his artistry with other people, and to inspire people. I've seen you like on the side, talking to people, not supporting them, but giving them inspiration. Just the words of encouragement, and so I think that's so important for us. We have to support one another. We have
exactly.
to encourage one another. We're all on a journey. We've all have tried something and it failed. It didn't work the way we wanted it to. It was just trial and error. I tell people don't stop, keep going. It was trial and error. Take the things that worked and add them to tweak the rest of the plan, right?
Exactly.
Because that's what life, we're going to have ups and downs throughout our entire life. When you conquer one thing, it's going to be when you go to the next level, trial and error, right?
Exactly. That part. That part. My mother tells me this all the time because I'm a jack of all trades and I'm a huge renaissance man. She always tells me to focus on one thing, get that done, and move to the next. So this book alone has been a long time coming. When I tell you putting in the work in for it, it's a rewarding feeling because now I always as everybody saw the trailer, my introduction trailer actually.
Yeah,
I
I was going to say.
I do a lot of performances, and I felt so bad when people come up to me and says, "Where can we find your stuff? Where can we get da 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 da?"
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Let me get this book started. So when I tell you it's a rewarding feeling to like make the book and understand this. A lot of people think I just wrote did the poetry. Yes, that is true. But I also did the cover art, all of this, everything from the top to bottom. I created all of this. So I'm Photoshop, Grammarly, Microsoft Word, all of the tools I needed to get this baby on point. Also, too, if you're on Amazon, you may see two different versions. One version is the smaller version, which is just the black and white version. But this version right here, this is the one that has the pictures in it. And I did not want to sit back here and leave people lonely. So when I made this book, I wanted to make sure that you didn't just read a bunch of poems, but I want you to get a visual in your head whenever you read the poem too, as well.
See, I think that's cool, to have that visual and then the wording. I mean, I just think that just helps take people to, the meaning of the words on the page. And so to me, poetry to me is a lot of love songs. Um, Ashanti says she's so proud of you. I think your mom said your Aunt Desi, I think, was on. I missed that comment, but is it
Aunt
Aunt Desi?
Dessa, yeah, Aunt
Okay,
Dessa, yeah. Hey Thea, how you doing? Yes, this is the gang.
Truly, truly.
This is
It's
the gang. This is Lancaster, Charlotte, Rock Hill, all wrapped up in one blessed, beautiful, lovable burrito.
lovable indeed. And Jonathan is on as well. He said, keep up the great work. And so I think I wanted to ask you, so is this a self-published book? Did you do all of it yourself?
Yes, this is self-published. KDP, Amazon has been great in navigating the self-publishing route. Also, too, give a shout out to the copyright team too. They really helped me navigate and kept me on my toes when it came to copywriting because a lot of people like to put out stuff and they don't own nothing. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of people put out stuff, but they don't own nothing. So I believe wholeheartedly ownership is the greatest thing to do. So you got to own everything that you do. That's why in a few months, I'm not gonna say it yet. I may post it on my Instagram. I'm coming out with a formula where we can just cut out the middleman for artists in general, like myself, to where you can you can come to me directly as opposed to going through Spotify or going through all of these distribution platforms. You can get to me directly because I told myself, okay, what is the problem that artists are having nowadays, right? And we can see that already with the what's happening in Hollywood right now with the writer strike and everything of that nature. So how can one and as for myself, I was saying to myself, how can my fans or how can people in general get a direct access to me? So it's still in the works. I'm still working on it. I just made my first Crystal website, so I'm still putting together the last few touches. So that way, if any commission or any donations or anything of that nature was to come through, it'll come directly to me because you'll be supporting me, not nobody else, not no middleman, not Spotify. Because I think it's so crazy that it takes like I don't know 300 and some odd streams to get $1. So it's like
Right. Come on.
so I'm like, we need to change the game here because
For you
actually,
to get $1, like you saying, but they done got some dollars off of them 359.
exactly. but it all depends on it's all depending on the how labels do it and everything. Because I got this inspiration from Snoop Dogg. Out of all people, Snoop Dogg inspired me because he was like he said the math ain't mathing on this because we ain't
Right.
got no
I saw that.
money. So I want to create that direct stream real soon. That's another project that I'm working on. That's why I've been low key MIA. I've been working on a bunch of projects lately. I've been working on another project based on this book. So, and I'm just gonna say it now. I am working on an art exhibit for the book.
Ooh, nice.
I am working on an art exhibit, and hopefully, with the right people in my corner, I can go ahead and take it on tour and have different poets and performers come out and perform and enjoy the festivities. Probably have a little wine and everything of that nature, and we can just rock out and perform, and y'all enjoy the artwork, enjoy the performances, and everything of that nature. So it's coming.
Yes.
It's coming
Yes.
slowly but surely. But I just have to get I just got to get the right. I'm getting myself in the right mindset, and also I'm getting together all the artwork to be,
Yeah.
all the bells and whistles together.
Oh, I can see it. That's gonna be nice right there. And I know you're gonna do it in Charlotte. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Charlotte made like honed my craft. When I knew I could perform in Charlotte, I said, yeah, I can do this anywhere. Cause like Charlotte like has turned into like that deaf comedy jam crowd now. So if you ain't hitting it, you
Try
don't need
again.
to hit it again. Like and shout out to Charlotte. I love Charlotte with the passion. Shout out to all the poets that come through. Red 28, the Peace Pipe with Cookie, Red 28, Superman the Poet, Release Therapy, all of those cats down there. Who else? Who else? Anybody who I came in contact with. Shout out to Greenville. Greenville has another setting too. Shout out to Black Socrates, Red 28 in Greenville, South Carolina. Um, Shout out to Columbia, Speak Easy, Towns and Vibes, Bugsy Calhoun. I see you, Poetry Family. We are, believe it or not, we are all connected up under one chat, and I see everything.
Oh Lord. I bet
it,
that's always popping.
it's always popping. My phone is forever vibrating because I am up under everybody's chat. Oh, we got this open mic here. We got this open mic there. We got this, and you know what's crazy? It is hard to keep up, but at the same time, the power and the communication is out there. So there's no excuse for you not to get your stuff out there. And there's no excuse for you not to find events because they are out here. You just got to connect with the right people. It ain't what you know all the time, but it's who you know.
Exactly. Exactly. So it sounds like the perfect place to start would be with Christopher Chris O'Blackman. Yes. So I know before we thought we were seeing the trailer, but we saw the intro to you.
Yes.
So we're gonna take another break, and we're gonna actually watch the trailer of the book Trial and Error. But I love this because I think we're always, and I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, is we're at a point in time where we have to think out of the box. I
Mm-hmm.
know before certain, requirements work to go to a job, da 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 da. There's a lot of people who have so many gifts and talents that will help the body of Christ, that will help our communities. And we're just kind of sitting on our gifts. But, I think, and even like being self-published, the reason I asked that is because a lot of people have poetry books. I've seen people with three or four, but I'm like, what you doing with this laying over here on this shelf? When you gonna publish it? But they're just like, it costs too much. It's the routine to do it is just a hassle. I tried it and they just gave up because it was just too much. So I love, you know, expressing that there are people like you who have kind of learned the field that can help somebody else along the way and have a direct contact to somebody that understands their plight, because Amazon, I'm glad they were able to help you, but like there are sometimes you go to a company and they're just not willing to give you that time, right?
Right.
And so people give up, and I just want people to let's try again.
Exactly. You know what's and before the break, you know what the person that helped me the most throughout this journey? Of course I'm gonna say my mama, but also too, um, what's my poet's name? Queen T. She does erotic poetry. She helped me throughout the journey, along with Cookie. She helped me throughout the journey too as well, because they're both phenomenal poets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they already published work. If I'm not mistaken, Queen T just came out with another poetry book. They belong here, so shout out to her. But I had her on speed dial, like, okay, what's next? What should I do next? What should I do next? What should I do next? Self-publishing is not that expensive at all. It's the only thing that you have to pay for is probably the copy of the book of what it looks like, which is probably like what $1 or $2, depending on the size of the book. Um, but it's really not hard. And then you can get resources from anywhere for people that are close to me too as well. Look, it's like what author said. You know, the art bar. Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card. So the library, it's an amazing resource to have because they have a lot of things, especially because I'm reporting live from Columbia, South Carolina. The libraries here, around here, phenomenal. So you utilize those tools. So library, and if you need your work to be checked, we have Chat GPT AI, so there's no excuse. That's I know it's a bittersweet thing, but that's one of the things that help the brother out too, along with Grammarly. Grammarly is good too with double checking your work and everything of that nature. So all of those things that I just mentioned, they're free of charge. Um, Other than that, after you get your work in published and everything, that's it. I mean, you get it published, and then people go in and buy it. Remember to promote it. Now, the reason why I was able to do extra things as far as the videos and all of that good stuff, because I know how to do those things. I mastered those things.
Right.
Video edits, all me. The pictures that you see, all me. So I told you I'm a Renaissance man. I'm a jack of all trades. So when it comes to me actually putting out a project, I put out a project, and I control the bells and whistles too of how it runs and how it operates. So
Awesome. And Jonathan had said that you're not trying, you're doing. Keep up the great work.
most definitely,
And
I
I
appreciate
think Ella Johnson said congratulations. So it's a lot of congratulations and things going on for you. People are excited. So I hope everybody that's saying congratulations, everybody that's saying hello has gone out and purchased the book. You know, maybe you want to purchase an extra book, give it to your neighbor or a friend or somebody along the way. So definitely go to Amazon and purchase the book, right?
most Hey, hey. Also, too, if you see me out in the street somewhere, and if you need a book, hit me up. I'm not far away. Always go to my Instagram and or Facebook. If you're on Facebook too, Christopher Blackman. Look me up. My beautiful pictures right there. My Instagram, CHRISSO_live poetry. And let me know if you want a book. I will definitely get you a book with an autograph signed to it too, as well, and with a little bit of motivational speeches in there too, to get you through your thing. So
Awesome. Listen, this is good. So I think we're gonna see the book trailer now. But also, Chris, I just can't let you get out of here without just doing one live for us. So as we're doing the trailer, think about what you want to do. You knew that was
I got
coming. You knew I was going to do that.
let's get it.
All right. All right. So right now we are going to see the trailer for Trial and Error.
The art of trying, everybody has mastered. Doing every and anything that you can, but somehow it turns into a disaster. Life takes you on many journeys, crossroads, and paths. Sometimes gives you heartache, but other times it can make you laugh. Nobody's perfect. I don't care how wide their smile or how dull their situation may be. This was never an overnight thing. Every morning that you wake, birds don't always sing unless you call for it. You got to live your life accordingly. Give an honor to God for His richness and glory. Life is going to be easy and life is going to be rough. And if you don't believe, you'll eventually grasp the cusp of what everybody had to figure out as life got a little clearer. Even though we live great lives on the outs, but on the inside, we learn to live through.
All right, trial and error. And remember,
Let's
there
go.
are two versions out there on Amazon. But if you're close to the Rock Hill, Charlotte area, surrounding areas, hit Chriso up and so you can get your copy and get a signed autograph. So, Chriso, who are some of your favorite poets? Like, are there poets that inspire you, or you just kind of?
Um, Poets that inspire me. Well, how do my, how does my inspiration come into play in this? I get inspired by how people flow, if that makes sense. So, a person I can say that I absolutely positively love, who is from actually Snow Hill, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina, is Rhapsody. She's one of my favorite rappers. Lauren Hill, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Gil Scott Heron, Revolution Will Not Be Televised. Jill Scott, Erica Badu. Um, they are amazing along with their delivery, cadence, and flow. But also, too, how I get my performance inspiration from. I get my performance inspiration from Denzel Washington, Joe Morton, and a lot of people don't know his name, Joe Morton. Joe Morton is the father who played Olivia Pope's father in Scandal.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay.
So I get my flow from them. And whom else? There's one more. Les Brown.
Mm,
Les Brown.
okay.
I didn't get I didn't know Les Brown to a can of paint until last year. But when I saw his work, I was like, yeah, that's him. That's it. Round of applause. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
Mm,
that's where I get my inspiration from. If I can just, and anything can click my inspiration on. But when I study people, I really study them, how they move, how they
mhm.
have that truthful of grit, that oomph, that ism. I can't say it right now, but
Right.
whatever they got it is what I wanted, and how I got it, and how I delivered it. That's how I got it.
They all around vibe, everything about
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
All right, all right. Okay, so like I said, you already knew this was coming. So whenever you're ready, you could just give us a poem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into time. Time. God has been good to you. He has given you the power to dream beyond your greatest imagination that you could ever think. There are many extraordinary minds, but they can't even fathom that strength. All of the elements of the world is at your disposal, but don't let the evils of the world capture you and home you, because you're better than that. Your patent was celestials that put the greatest giant on his back. You have so much light that the sun have to ask you for advice on how to light up the world. Your value is worth more than gems, jewels, and pearls. God, you're great. You are so great that people have to ask for an invitation just to give you a standing ovation. More than people clapping, insects rubbing antennas along with the animal kingdom who already think that you're a winner. The planets are aligned and engaged. They gravitate to your solar system because you are the son of solar flames. You're the one. You're the one that oceans and rivers cheer for. You got the power of 32 suns plus more. There's so many things that I can stress, but I can only sum it up into saying that you're the best. And for the rest, well, we find out when you come of age. But for now, we're at the beginning of the page. You see, I tell you these things because I don't want you to doubt. When everybody around you gives you clout, that's why I built this time machine just to go back in the time to tell you and other generations that you're divine. And in due time, the world will know that you're blessed. A beautiful, beautiful mind.
Mm. All right, all right. Come through, Chriso. I love it. I love it. Listen, you get that every time. So he's not performing just for making connections. That's his energy every time he does it. I love it. I love it. So I know you typically, well, I know you kind of take a break from time to time, but do you have any places that you're going to be performing at, coming up?
Do I have any places going to be performing at? I am going to be performing in Lancaster, South Carolina, August 9th. Once the flyer is made, I'm going to post it on both my social medias. Not August 9th, I'm sorry, August 19th, I'm performing. It's pretty much a roundtable discussion of the Meeting of the Minds um, event. So I'm excited about that. Um, Nothing right now per se. I pretty much got everything out of the way as far as performing wise. Currently, right now, like I stated earlier, I am working on my art exhibit. That's why I've
Yeah.
been on a little bit of a hiatus. I'm MIA, missing in action. So don't count me out just yet. um,
Definitely not that.
so I just been working, just been grinding, trying to get this platform up and working. Because when I get this platform working, it's gonna speak for itself. Um, and and if I can support anybody, and if anybody has any events, let me know ahead of time, preferably about a month in advance or a month or two in advance, and I can definitely come out support. If you need me to do poetry, I can. And another golden nugget, if you need me to write specifically for that event, I can do that too as well. Because
Mm,
I've there's been times where I I done wrote so much material for people, and I just set it on the back burner,
right.
and to the point where the side material, I can make that into a book, which it is coming, ladies and gentlemen, it is coming. Um, so just let me know ahead of time, a month or two in advance, and I can definitely show up and show out. And if you need me to write something a little bit extra, I can do that too as well. So I'm here. We ain't going nowhere. I'm here like I never left.
We just getting started.
Exactly that part. I am just getting started.
Awesome. Listen, well, I definitely make sure I know, ahead of time too, about the art exhibit. Even before you tell the public, if you know the date, let me know because I definitely want to be in the house for that.
Exactly. I got you. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you. We're
we got
still
to
in
do
the
some
works.
live videos and some interviews and some stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. And I don't want to just keep it like bam in Charlotte like that. I want it to be a whole tour because here's the thing about me, and this is for all artists and all poets and everything. This is me being honest. I don't have no $1 million out here in these streets. I'm not this famous wham bam thank you ma'am type of person. When I put this book out, I told myself, okay, I have a product now. I need to promote it. So what I did was every open mic I went to,
Mhm.
all the people that I knew, because going to open mic is free. So all the people that I knew, I went to all the open mics that I knew about. I went to Charlotte. I went to Rock Hill. I went to Chester. I went to Columbia, where the place that I reside right now. Columbia's got a whole artistry movement popping. So yeah, they're amazing down here too. Went over to Greenville, Spartanburg. They got a whole artistry jam jumping too. And I'm just hit up all the open mics that you can, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if you rap, sing, act, do whatever, comedy, whatever. Go ahead and hit up them open mics. That's what I've been doing for the past 2 months now after the book. So I hit up Red 28 members only, abstract poet named Superman. They have been inspirational out here. Then they are people that are in Charlotte, so get to know them if you don't know them. Whom else? Whom else? Um, I want to give a shout out to Vale too. Vale is a incredible Black entrepreneur who hosts the vegan festivals in Charlotte too.
Okay. Yeah.
She's the inspiration. If I'm not mistaken, she had a restaurant in Ballantyne, Beltry, which made the best vegan cuisine I ever tasted in my life. So give a shout out to them because she had an open mic at her spot too, and I performed there. I was actually a feature there, so give a big shout out to her too because she's an amazing person as well. Um, yeah, I know a lot of people, Aly, so I'm not gonna be that. So it's hard to name it. If I have not mentioned you, charge it to my head and not my heart. But understand it's all love. If you know who you are that want to hit me up personally, we can make that connection. And yeah, that is it. Like I love everybody that come in my circle. If you have something positive, inspirational towards me, or whatever the case may be, come and hit me up. I don't be doing nothing but just be writing. I just be writing. I'm a complete nerd. I probably played a game or two. So
So yeah. So listen, yeah. So y'all also know that he is preparing for an art show. So keep that in mind too. So
that
just
part.
be patient with them.
Please do,
Do
please
connect
do.
with him.
Yeah,
And
because
make sure.
I love to create. I love to create. I love to create. And about creating, you got to give yourself time. It's just like you don't rush a caterpillar when he's trying to be a butterfly. So
Right, right. Well, I always say I don't care who comes on the show, I feel like they can inspire the entire family, So maybe you're not a poet, maybe you write songs, maybe you like to bake cakes, maybe you like to do artwork. Hey, maybe if you're a painter or something, sculptor, whatever it is, just continue, keep going, keep learning your craft. Keep, maybe this venue didn't appreciate who you were, but that doesn't mean that you're not good at what you are. It's just that's not the venue for you. So you go somewhere else. Just like Christo said, he's been all over these different places. Okay, go to the place. You're gonna find the place that's your tribe, that's for you, that's inspiring to you.
exactly,
The people who are drawing you in, as you're performing or doing your services. So keep going because, and keep making connections, because that's what it's about. You're stronger together, right?
exactly. You're stronger together. It's like what's that old quote? What's that old quote? Together we stand, divided we fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an old quote. And speaking of, I saw a post the other day, and mind you, a bunch of inspirational quotes and posts come my way all the time. So it just hit me in the soft spot of my heart. Um, it said this guy had a car. He told the girl, "Hey, take this car to the car dealership." They said, "We'll give you $100 for it." I take this car to this other spot. They said they'll give you $50 for it. I take this car to this other car dealership where they known to have a bunch of beautiful, amazing cars. They said we'll give you 100,000 for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the fact that you're not good enough. It's the fact that you're not in the right room.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the room, understand this. Now, I want y'all to feel me on this. Let me put my hat back. Um,
Lean in, everybody.
if you're in the right room with the right person, things can happen. All you need in a field full of no's, all you need is one yes.
Yeah. Amen, brother.
All you need is one yes. In a field full of no's, all you need is one yes.
Yeah.
And in a field full of coals, because I have this quote is in the book. In a field full of coals, a diamond has to emerge.
Mm. Come on. Y'all better listen to Chris out today.
All right, now don't get me in the preaching moment. Now don't do that to me. Don't
don't
do
get don't get the preaching poet started.
that.
Listen, we're here for it, so whatever.
Oh my goodness! Because I'll be quoting scripture in a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We love scripture over here. We good. We come on, bring it on.
Let me what don't well, you know what? What's my favorite line in the Bible? He says, "Be of good." There's going to be trial and error, but be of good cheer, for I have overcome the world. Is that
Mm,
John 16:22? Yeah. In the
mm,
beginning, there was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's so powerful in itself. Like, come on. And you know the beauty about God, He spoke things into existence.
mm. Come on.
A lot of people don't know words have power, even though they say, "Oh, this don't mean nothing." It is absolutely true. You keep telling yourself about yourself in a negative fashion, you're gonna get negative results. But if you
Right.
keep telling yourself about yourself in a positive fashion, you're gonna get positive results.
Yeah.
So don't always and understand this. I am telling myself this as we speak because I need to hear this myself from myself too. Because I go through this battle on a constant basis, and I know everybody go through this on a constant basis. So
Right.
always tell yourself this, because you can inspire yourself. You don't even know it yet. So I'm gonna say this again. All what God things into existence. When He said, "Let there be light," light better than the clap on, better than Google and all this technology. He's spoken into existence. So always remember to speak things into existence as if they were. That's what I tell people all the time. And that's what you do it. That's what I do with the poetry. You speak things into existence because your words have meaning. Your words have power. Just like the music that you listen to, it have meaning, it have power. Low vibrational, you're gonna get low results. High vibrational, you're gonna get high positive results. So it depends on it always depends on your wordplay and the room that you're in. And if you have those two combined, come on. It's just like, okay, prime example. Lazarus was dead. Lazarus was dead. Flies around him, just stinking dead. Um, he was in the right room, hear me now, with the right person. And what did Jesus say? He said, Lazarus, come
Man,
forth,
come on.
come forth.
Mm.
He spoke that man alive. Come on. Where am I going? So, because he was in the right room or the right place with the right person, and Jesus used his words to speak somebody alive. Come on, now. You can't tell. See, why are you doing this to me, Aly? Why are you doing this to me?
Listen, somebody needed this today, Christopher.
I'm just saying. I'm
But you
just
are so
saying.
right. You know, it's important, and he was with the person that was speaking the right words, because somebody
Exactly.
else would have been like, "Oh, he did, he stink." Da da da. Jesus didn't see none of that,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
so sometimes people don't see your value. They don't see, you know, what you're worth. They don't see everything, but that's okay. It ain't for everybody.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you continue to speak positive. And first time you try it, you might be like, I don't see no results. What's happening? I'm not doing this no more. No, what did we talk about earlier? Being consistent.
That's it.
Be consistent at speaking life, over your situation, over your finances, over your a business, whatever your endeavor is, over your family. Can be consistent at speaking life and watch it come forth.
That part, because it is a amazing feeling when you see the fruits of your labor really flourish out here when you speak things into existence. Because I got to, and this is me personally. I remember I got to a real bad depressive state in my life. Things wasn't really going right and anything of that nature. Um, and the first person that I called was my mother. Mama, any mamas, if you are a mother, you understand. Mama
Right.
is a backbone. Um, she's the rock of, besides God, Mama is the rock of my foundation. I trust Mama, then I cut the debt. Um, so it's like she said, son, don't get like that. You know who you are and you know whose you are. Don't you? I don't let me hear about you being depressed and stuff because you already know what it is. If you are depressed, son, I challenge you to go out there, do something to make you feel happy, do something to make give you joy, do something to go
Mhm.
give you peace. And she was absolutely positively right because as soon as I got off the phone with her, I sat back there and I took my beautiful low vibrational self, and I took myself to Longhorn Steakhouse and got me a beautiful porterhouse steak, onions, mashed potatoes on the side. And when I tell you, I jump out of that thing real quick. So 'cause sometimes, and this is for anybody who deals with mental health in general, scripture is nice. Scripture is powerful. It's a powerful thing to do too. But you also need that connection.
Right.
Just like the show says, making connections. You also need that connection with that person because you might not have the power to inspire yourself because you think all the walls are closing in on you. But get you that ride or die person that you know that's gonna be right around for you. That's die person. I implore you to
Yeah.
get that ride or die person because there's been so many times where I don't talk about my depression as like that. I don't talk about my mental state like that. Because I usually talk let the poetry speak for it because all of the work is in the poetry. All of my ups and downs are in the book. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I let the artwork be my inspiration, and low key inspire myself. But sometimes I can't do that. I might go to my friends for comfort, or I might go to my mother for comfort, or I might go to my aunties for comfort, or I might go to a cousin or two for comfort because their energy somehow, even though they don't know that my energy is low, their high value energy is like up there, and sometimes when their energy is up there, mine's get built back up just to match their energy, and after that, I'm out what I was at. I'm like, devil, get thee behind me and stay all the way behind me, and God, get in front of me because we about to march forward. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. And that's a true statement. I had a guest on, I think it was last year, we were talking about mental illness. And a lot of things she said, like sometimes anxiety and things like that, it doesn't start off mental illness. It only develops into that when you don't be proactive, when you don't do something about those feelings and emotions that you're having.
right.
So, the longer you let them linger, the longer you dwell in that, that's when it becomes mental illness. So, like you're saying, when you recognize it, do something about it. It is amazing how different you feel, even if you take a shower, put on some clean clothes, open the windows, go outside, get some fresh air. It's little things that we can do that will make a big difference in our life. So, definitely don't sit around, be depressed, don't get, be anxiety moments come, situations come, but they're only situational. I say it all the time. If you just hang in there, just like as it is in the natural, seasons change. So keep going. Even if it feels like winter right now, guess what? Spring is coming. It don't have no choice but to come.
Exactly.
So stay in the game, be encouraged, continue, be consistent at speaking life. And like Chriso said, get that connection that builds you, that pulls you forward and pulls you up. That's so important. So thank
Oh
you for
yeah,
sharing that, Krista.
most definitely because I understand life be lifing. Life be
No,
lifing. The
And it's nice,
mind.
like you said, your tires, you need tires on your car. It seems like your refrigerator, your wash machine go out. I mean, these things are designed to break at some point. They only have
Exactly
so much life. You have a loved one who's sick or is dying or something like that. I mean, life happens, but you can still, survive and thrive through it.
that part, that part, and it's when you when you realize um when you realize all the things that's going on, always have time to reflect on what was
Mm-hmm.
and where you are now. Because I remember there was this time where I got out of that state and I saw how far I came.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't realize it. God really brings you through a lot of things. Sometimes you got to go through a test to have a testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Um so when you go through things, when you ask God for patience, God is not going to send you just patience. He's going to put you through things to give you patience.
Mm.
Um, so be careful what you really pray for, because if you want it, how bad do you want it? Do you want it? All right, I'm gonna give it to you, but it ain't gonna be the way that you want it. So,
Come on. Crystal, can you hear me? Am
oh,
I close?
oh,
Oh,
yes, yeah, I can.
okay.
Hear you. We here, we here, we here, we here, we here.
I got frozen for a minute, and I was like, "Oh, can they still hear
Like,
me?"
oh no, like,
But yeah, this has been good. Listen, Krista, we gotta go though.
I know.
But this has been good. We gotta have a part two.
We got to have a part two. Let's make this a part two. But yes, do your thing, girl.
Definitely,
Do your thing. Yeah.
we're definitely gonna be, when the art show, part two of the book, when your website, whatever, always let us know what's going on, what you got going on, so we can announce it. Speaking of, we are making connections. We're here every Saturday at 12 noon, every Monday at 2 p.m. We also do a rerun on Thursdays at 7 p.m. just because we have so many, good conversations. So we take on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We do a rerun in case somebody has missed it, and it could be that week or it could be previous weeks. So you just never can tell. But follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Listen, we're trying to get up to 1,000 followers on Facebook. So go like, follow the page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everything Making Connections with Aly. And I do want to, Crystal, I'm going to give you opportunity to come back and tell people how they can follow you and everything. But I do want to show this last clip of Hope for All of Charlotte. We're kind of, talking about partnering with them or just doing some things with them to help get the word out about what they're doing in Charlotte, feeding the homeless. Right now they're asking for donations for insulated cups that they can give to the homeless. So whether they have something cold or something hot, it kind of stays with them. You know, for some hours before it gets the opposite. And so this is
Right.
a video of Hope for All of Charlotte. So again, that's Hope for All of Charlotte. The founder's name is Theo. I can't never say his last name. He's from Ghana. So I say look for hope for Charlotte. Or if you need some, you have some questions about how you connect or what you can do with them, let me know and I can get you connected to Theo. They do health screenings. They give out emergency kits. They just his birthday is July 4th, and he does a cookout for the community for his birthday. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I have a friend who's venturing out in her entrepreneurship. And she just opened up a pay hip store, and there is a flyer, but I'll put the link on the description of the video as well. But they're having like a parade of stores this weekend, so I definitely want some people to go view her pay hip store. So the again, I'll put the link in the description of the video, but it's payhip.com/positively AI /collection all. And so go support Miss Jerry because that's what we're about, y'all. So anyway, because there was a time I wish somebody would have supported me and who had talked about me, and so that's why I'm just passionate about it. So I know I don't get around to everybody because y'all be doing a lot of stuff. Whenever I can help somebody, that's what we're here for. So, Christo, tell people again how they can follow you. And then, if you have any last words you want to say before we go, feel free.
I feel like I said so much. Um,
Yes, we did.
well,
We
you
having
can
a
follow.
conversation.
Oh, it's an incredible conversation. Look out for part two, ladies and gentlemen. Sometime in the future, look out for part two.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
But you guys can follow me on Instagram at Chriso_live poetry. I'm gonna say it again. It's CHRISSO_live poetry. That's my Instagram. On my Facebook, it is Christopher Blackman. Look for my face. I'm probably having a pose like this or like this, doing some poetry. You should see this bright, bald, light skinned guy on there. So look for me on Facebook, Christopher Blackman. That is BLACKMON, not MAN, but MON on
Right.
Facebook. I am there 24/7. Just hit me up, DM me if you got an event coming up. I can start posting it. I can start sharing it and everything of that nature. And yeah, uh, I'm a family member now, so
That's it. Welcome home. All right. Well, we got to get out of here, but we do appreciate your conversation. We appreciate you sharing. Listen, go to Amazon, get the book Trial and Error. And then again, if you're close around the Rock Hill, Columbia, Charlotte area, you want a autograph copy, hit him up at his Instagram account. Purchase the book, and then you can get a signed autograph copy. Woo-hoo! So again, we are making connections every Saturday at 12, every Monday at 2 p.m. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then, as always, until next time, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody. Bye, Crystal.
bye.